Hey everyone, have you at any point felt that you don't feel like having sex, especially if you're pregnant, you don't have the oomph for it at all, or you're scared you're going to have the baby, or you're worried about you just delivered, is this the right time? Today, this is all we're going to be talking about. We have with us Mrs. Arnold Belinda from Uganda, Mother of Nations, and she's going to be taking us through all these things. Here as Dr. Jemima Karaoke, I'm going to give you a medical perspective on it, and I pray we have an amazing, amazing time as we.
There on right on your screen. I am a happy wife, married to a great king. We have been married for I'll keep that to myself. Together, we have two beautiful daughters. We have enjoyed making these two beautiful girls. By the grace of God, we are happy to do ministry of the married. I serve in children's ministry. I'm passionate about children's ministry and marriage ministry. By God's grace, I'm leading the Mothers of Nations, where we pray together every Wednesday, and we also share a lot of things in our group. And I'm happy to be here this evening with you guys. Personally, during my first pregnancy, I conceived. I conceived during lockdown, and that time we were not yet wedded. So I felt so bad. I felt like, oh my God, I'm a believer and I've sinned. Now this has happened. So I first lost interest in having sex during pregnancy, and I hated it, to be honest. I hated it. And I've had several mothers talk about the same thing, that they hated sex because of that. But then for the first 2 3 months, I didn't want anything to do with sex. Of course, we're having it, but not in a way that it should have been, because I felt like I was sinning. I felt like I was disobeying God. But then later on, I said, I was like, God, now here we are. I cannot reverse it, but I would like to do better moving forward. Then we started praying about the wedding, the preparations, and everything. So after that, I felt, after repenting in front of God, I felt a relief. I felt like, okay, now I can go ahead to enjoy my marriage as I wait for the wedding. So what was holding me back was the fact that I felt like I had sinned. I felt like I had sinned before God. I felt like I had failed God. I had failed my body. I had failed my partner. But after that repentance, I felt a relief and then started enjoying sex once again. So, in case you're there and you're in that same situation where you are a believer, but then you've fallen short and you have conceived, it happens. It happened to me. But guess what? You can still enjoy. You can still forgive yourself, repent, forgive yourself, forgive your partner, and move on. That is me speaking. Your pastor might have something different. Please listen to what your pastor says or to what you have discussed with God. I've always had this difficult discussion with pastors, and personally, when I was going to have my wedding, the pastors told me, you cannot have sex with your husband until the wedding. And we already had a child, and I was carrying this second nation. I was pregnant with this second nation. And they told me, you need to stay away from your husband until you finish your wedding, until you have wedded. And I was like, how is that even possible? We stay together, sleep in the same bedroom, same bed. How do I not have sex with my husband until the wedding? They were telling us this media, and the wedding was late November. I just prayed, and together with my husband, we agreed that we have repented before God, and we know when we repent, He forgives us. We are doing this as long as we are heading to our wedding. And we started enjoying our 6 months again. And guess what? Everything was perfect. There was nothing like low libido, nothing like we're afraid of hurting the baby or any pain or what. And you can do it as well. It's possible. It's doable. You can do it. You can do it. Yes, 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 you can do it. All right. Thank you so much. So, when you want to have sex with your husband, tune your mind to think about sex where from, like, even from the morning. He's at work, you're at work, or you are a stay-home mother. Tune your mind to think about that all day. If you can't send him a message while he's at work, let him know what's on your mind. Let him know, hi babe, I can't wait to see you in the evening. Guess what? I have a surprise for you. Let your husband know that you desire him. And in your mind, start imagining how you would like it to be. If if possible, tell your husband, tell your husband, remember last weekend how you treated me. I liked it. I would like to have more today. Like, tune your mind. Let your mind think about what you'd like to have with your husband. And by you thinking about it, by the time your husband comes, you will already be in the mood for it. He'll also be in the mood for it. You will not have to first struggle with 10, 20 minutes of foreplay, because you've already thought about, you have already, like, it was already on your mind, and it's on his mind as well. When it comes to men, they don't need to plan in advance. Men are always, they're always ready. They're always ready. They're like uh they're like a gas cooker. Just turn it on and you start lighting. Unlike us women who are like a charcoal stove, you need to first put something to ignite the fire and then first blow it for it to start lighting. But when it comes to men, it's so easy for them to get turned on. But for us women, we need to think about it in advance to prepare ourselves. If possible, like I said, talk to your husband about it. Text him, send him a message. Or in the morning when he's leaving for work, write a note, drop it in his wallet, put in his laptop bag. So that when he's at work, he's thinking about what you've told him, looking forward to evening, looking forward to come back home and find you ready for him. And when he comes, please be ready. Let him not come in the evening, and then it's when you remember to start mopping the house. It's when you remember to start cleaning the kitchen. If you really plan to have a good time with your husband, prepare yourself in advance, be ready, both physically and mentally. By the time he comes, you'll be ready for him, you'll be ready to enjoy, and there's nothing that is going to delay you.
Women, we have had from Mrs. Belinda that one, uh, we are like charcoal stoves and men are like gas cookers. But as we say that, let us remember that they also need to be mentally ready. So you had her talk about how to leave a note in the morning, or how to leave a note in the morning, text during the day, set the mood right. So that is really, really important if at all you're to both be excited for this particular thing. So it's not supposed to be homework. It's not a chore that I'm doing this for him, or he's doing this for you. Although at some days that's the case, that you're doing it for one another, but it should be something that you're excited to get to do it. You don't have to do it. You're excited to get to do it. And as he said that, as she's talked about that, I remember that I made so funny. I bought a card at some point, because in my second pregnancy I wasn't as super excited. I wasn't as hypersexual as I was in the first one. In the first one, I was hypersexual. I really had a very great libido, and I remember laughing one day with him and saying, "Takpeleka kwa chief," because I really had a very great drive for it. But in the second one, I was very toned down. I really did not want to be touched. I really wanted nothing in that area. And both ways, it's okay. Whether in pregnancy, postpartum, both ways, it's okay. But at some point, I sat down and I was like, I need to remind my mind that I am married. I'm not married alone. and and I need to get back into this space. So as I was thinking about that, the first thing that I do is I actually prayed. I prayed about it, and I was like, God, you created this thing for us to enjoy it, and it's not proper that my headspace is not there. So kindly, God, please get me back there. And the second thing that happened is I made a note. I bought a card, a really cute card that had a lady in lingerie. It's like this small, and I gave it to him. And I told him, anytime you want some and I'm not there, please just show me this card. It's your gate pass. And every time we made a game out of it, and it slowly became very very enjoyable to get back into that space, into that headspace. So here to to answer the medical question. Sex is very safe in pregnancy unless you have placenta previa and you have been told by your doctor not to engage in it. So unless you have placenta previa or you have bleeding in the first trimester and you have been told to just keep off, then it's still very okay. Okay, it does not hurt the baby at all. That's the greatest thing we hear from men, is that they're scared of hurting the baby. Uh, but you need to look at it as this is the uterus and then it has a gate like this. So everything below here is where the vaginal orifice is, and the whole tract of the vagina. So it's below a gate. So nothing that you push up is going to actually get into the baby's area, so to speak, because that tight lock in between. So if you think about that, then it only makes sense that when you have sex, it's fine. It's really, really, really okay. The only problem would come is if you have recurrent infections. If you have recurrent infections, then they erode the space of the cervix, and then that can now hurt the baby. In which case, you're going to have water leaking, and we're going to again give you pelvic rest. So, unless your doctor has said pelvic rest, please enjoy, 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 enjoy. The other thing that we hear is that I don't know. I'm feeling too excited about this thing in this pregnancy. Like I'm excessively horny all the time. That's okay. It's normal. Remember, for us women, other than just it being a mental thing, there are a lot of hormones that are running around your body, especially in pregnancy. I don't know if it's because I was carrying a boy, but for sure, I was very hypersexual. So when that happens, please, as long as you need it, proceed. There is no harm. There is no, we can't do it 3 times a day or 5 times a day. No, it's still very, very okay. And Belinda is going to come and tell us about DERAs and warm water and thermos and all those things, and that's for her. But for me, I'll tell you that it is okay from a medical perspective. Okay. In the third trimester, the more you have it, the merrier, because especially towards labor, it actually triggers labor more. So instead of trying to drink castor oil and coconut and all those other things that I hear raspberry and water view, you can actually just have fun with your husband. How fun is that? Like, just have fun with your husband. And the other question that we get often is that, what about position? Is this position okay? Is that position okay? It doesn't matter. If you're comfortable, then that's a good position. So don't worry about this position or that position. Am I hurting the baby when I? No, your body will tell you that if you get to a point, missionary may be hard because the back is hurting. That's fine. You can move on to something different as long as you're both comfortable. Then the other thing in postpartum, please remember to you can start ovulating as soon as you give birth, which means the next month you can actually start ovulating, especially if you're not breastfeeding. Especially if you're not breastfeeding. So please, family planning is important. We ask you to wait for 6 weeks to 8 weeks thereabout, so that your pelvis has healed. Your pelvic walls are making sense. Your bones are not grinding and as you're trying to move. That's important. Okay. But once you've gotten your 6 to 8 week mark and you have your family planning in you or within you, please go ahead and just start small. and then we go ahead. So I'll let Belinda come. I can see she's back, and then we can she can proceed to guide us more the Ugandan way. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Jemima. I don't think it's the Ugandan way, like you're saying it. It should be done that way, like whether you're in Uganda, you're in Kenya, wherever you are watching us from. So I've got several questions about, oh, when I'm pregnant, I don't feel like having sex. My libido is so low. What can I do? What I can tell you first of all is pray about it. Like Mr. Jemima has said, pray about it. Pray about your pray about everything and anything. Personally, I pray about everything concerning my life. When at temperature and I feel like I don't feel like having sex this week, I will pray about it. Because I know the kind of man I have cannot stay a week without it. So what do I do for me to stay on the same pace with him? Of course, there are times when like yourself, you're like, this week I have a lot to do. I'm so busy. I'm tired. Maybe you have school, you have work, you have projects, but your man needs the sex. You also need it as a person. Pray about it. Pray for that libido to increase to the level that you want it. God will do it for you. I've prayed for it before, and God has surely done it for me. So pray that God will increase your libido so that you're able to satisfy your husband and also be able to enjoy. Another thing, one thing that causes low libido most times in pregnancy and after giving birth is we look at ourselves and feel like I don't look good anymore. I used to have a flat tummy, but now my bump is so big. Or after giving birth, now my tummy has stretch marks, has this, I don't look good in my sexy lingerie or what. First of all, you are that way because of the man you have right in front of you. Your man should be understanding enough to know that you are the way you look like right now because of him. And if he doesn't, my sister, pray for him. Ask God to give him the eyes to look at you the way you were the first time he met you. I've heard women say, oh, my husband says that now I'm round all over, so he has nowhere to start from. He doesn't have to enter from the front all the time. If missionary is not possible because of the bump, let him try doggy. Try something else. Be creative. Be creative, mamas. Be creative. Be creative. If he's not able to access his food from the front, he can try the back door. Okay, not the back door. I didn't mean to use that word. I'm so sorry. He can try doggy. He can try spooning. Try to be creative. Try to be in a position that makes you comfortable and also gives him access. I hope I'm very clear with that. You don't have to do missionary all the time. And if you like only missionary, it is time for you to explore other options, to explore other positions that you will actually enjoy. You never know what you enjoy until you've tried it out. So try out other options. Try out anything that you think of will make you comfortable. That's on the mothers group. I shared with those who get my inbox different styles you can do during pregnancy, and some have said they've worked for. Usually, what causes low libido is we feel like we don't look good anymore. But also remind yourself that I still look sexy, and I'm still hot. I'm still hot, and I can still satisfy this man. Don't start also feeling bit for yourself. Oh, you see, now I cannot do an hour because I'm pregnant. You can do it. You can do that hour and even more. You can do it. You can do it. As long as you're in a comfortable position, you can do anything. You can go for an hour, take a nap, wake up for one more. It is very possible and doable. The baby is very safe. Even you yourself, it's actually good for you as a pregnant mother because it will help you to stretch your muscles. Like, do it, do it, do it. It's possible. You can do it. You can do it. I was telling the mothers on the group, just in the last trimester, do it whenever the man is around. Don't let him rest. Do not let, instead of having to take some herbs or eat dates or what to induce labor, use what put in that pregnancy. The exact thing that made you conceive we put out that baby. So make use of sex. It's going to help you induce labor and to help you have a smooth labor, by the way. The time I was carrying my first baby, told me that, you know what, eat pineapples, they're going to help you with labor. I ate pineapples, but nothing happened. They did not help at all. Until the last day when I was like, no, 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 enough is enough. My husband was working in a different district, but he came the week that I gave birth. So I told him, now that you're here, no more pineapples. No more pineapples. I I have to make sure whatever made this baby to go in, it has to make it come out. Even the day labor kicked in, that day I went for antenatal, and then I came back. We took a walk coming back from hospital. We reached home. We had lunch. I started enjoying. I started enjoying our warm water. For those who mothers know what warm water is. Yeah, we had a good time, and immediately after that round, labor kicked in. Labor
That's
started
good
right away.
to
So
hear.
when I say it works like magic, I know what I'm talking about. It is going to work. It will help you induce labor. Even for my second baby, that last week, the week where I gave birth, my husband used to come back from work and he's like, oh my God, I have a whole night here with this woman. I made sure I utilized that time and my labor was so quick. Of course,
Mm.
all the credit goes to God because my labor was only 30 minutes. But also, I can say what helped me in this labor was also sex because I did not eat anything, did not drink anything. It was just God and sex, nothing else. It was just God and
Good.
sex, and it worked for me. It worked very well for me. So please try it out. It will work for you as well.
Thank you, Belinda. As we continue, I'd like to ask all mothers here, please, if you're here YouTube with us, just hit that subscribe button to support this. Questions I have had about this is about infections during pregnancy, infections in postpartum, and whether it's an STI or has your husband gone outside and started, seeing other women because you're pregnant. And what I will say is that, especially if it's that whitish discharge that is consistently there, then it's probably because of a hormonal change. In pregnancy, there are three kind of things that happen. One is that your flora changes because the body has altered a bit to accommodate the baby. So when you see that, it can give you what we call I forget the name, but it's a whitish clear discharge. That is normal in pregnancy, just white and clear, no smell, no nothing, and that is really just okay in pregnancy. There's another whitish discharge that looks cottage like, and it's usually a lot, like just a lot, and it can have an itchy sensation. That's usually candida, and it is easily treatable. You do not go and say, give me medicine for candid or yeast in a chemist, because you'll be given a tablet, and that tablet is fluconazole, which is not safe in pregnancy. So please, if you're treating that, you may need to have a pessary. The pessary is usually clotrimazole. It is safe in pregnancy. It will not affect you or the baby. Sometimes we treat you, and we treat your husband, not because your husband has gone outside, but because we need to make sure to change his flora as well to accommodate you. So, because sometimes we treat the lady and then you end up with infections being returned to the lady by the husband. Okay, so as you enjoy your small, please know that sometimes you'll get a discharge. Explain to your husband as well that this is common in pregnancy. Okay, so that he also doesn't wonder what is this new um, place. The other thing is that if you're consistently treated for UTI, one, there are things you need to do to help with UTIs, but beyond that, especially hydrating. Beyond that, if you're consistently on antibiotics, this will give you a discharge because it clears out both the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. So, of key to note is, please, if you're treating a UTI, please also have a probiotic in place. Why do you need the probiotic? So that as a bad bacteria and good bacteria is being cleared, you're replacing the good bacteria to prevent you from getting a yeast infection. Okay, so that's very, very important for you to know. If you get a fishy odor smell, please, this is a it's a different kind of infection. It's usually mostly bacterial, and it may require you to be treated for a longer period of time with a broad spectrum antibacterial plus antifungal plus other things that are usually combined so that we can clear the infection altogether. Okay, so this is very, very important for you to know. So no, when you get weird discharges, they do not mean that your husband is sleeping outside. But if you're having a lot of it in the house, it would be also difficult for him to go outside. Not that we're pardoning the behavior. No, not at all. And if at all you find that happening in your house, please be led by your heart. But personally, I would step. Okay, so do not allow yourself to be disrespected in that manner. Okay, but it is important for you to realize that for you and your partner, that it is very important to keep the intimacy cogs going. That you need to still remember, even as you're making a baby or a baby is growing inside you, that intimacy goes beyond procreation. Intimacy goes beyond just getting babies. It is also a means for you to bond. And when you bond, when you are there sexually, you're there physically, you're there mentally, or you should be. Please don't think about vyombo dishes. Don't think about dishes. Don't think about how what the doctor said or didn't say. Don't think about many things. Just be present in that moment. And when you're meeting with your husband, you're also meeting spiritually. So it's actually almost a homily. So yeah, I see Mrs. Belinda is back. I'll let her come back to speak, and we shall proceed.
Yes, I am back. I pray this baby accepts to stay where she is. I've put her down to play. Yes, like Dr. Jemima has said, do not start thinking about dishes when you're having sex. Those dirty dishes in your sink can wait until you are done. Don't think about the baby who spilled milk in the couch. Don't think about the nanny who has broken a flask or what. Focus. Let your mind be on the game at the moment. If you're thinking about, oh my God, the baby has finished the couch, now you start smelling, oh, the baby has done this, oh, my neighbor did this, you are not going to enjoy. Your mind will be so far away. And during sex, you need to be there mentally, first of all, before even the physical part. You need to be there mentally. Like your mind needs to think about the game. Talking about that, also, as you're going to have sex, set the mood right. Make sure the mood is right for the game. If you love music like I do, have your playlist of nice music that flows with the session. Do not start playing someone's or some or something like maybe Amazing Grace or what, or I surrender to Jesus. No, 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 no. I am a believer, I am a Christian, I am an intercessor, but I have time for everything. I do not start playing Amazing Grace during sex. During sex, it is time to enjoy, so I play music that is in line with the session. I don't start playing someone's of Yusha Selman or Apostle Grace or someone from my church. I have to make sure what I am listening to at that moment. I'm not even listening most of the times, but let the flow of whatever is in my background be matching what is happening at the moment. You can get your playlist or even go on YouTube and download a playlist that you know is going to work for you and switch off your data so that you don't be in the midst of a game and you're hearing ads, Airtel ads or MTN or what. Please set the mood right. Also, don't ask about those who go to bed with DERAs. My sisters in Kenya, I know you love your DERAs so much and you respect that. But those DERAs have where they stop. You can use them in your kitchen, as you're doing laundry, as you're all over the house cleaning. But when you're coming to bed, please leave the DERAs. Leave it in the corridor into the bedroom. From the bedroom, pick your DERA, proceed with it wherever you want to go. Have something that is going to make you look appealing to your husband. Dress in a way that when he looks at you, whether you're pregnant or you're breastfeeding, he'll be like, yeah, that is my girl. That is my girl. Not things where you're going to be looking like this lady who sells greens on the street, like someone in the bus park or what. Let him look at you and want to have you. Not him first waiting for you to first now and rest. Then he's like, oh, okay, I think I want this. Let him look at you from the time you enter the bedroom and he's like, yes, I want to have this and I want to have it now. And if you're getting what I'm saying, do not go. Even some women like wearing baggy t-shirts and like those big shorts. My sister, that baggy t-shirt, let it stay in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the as you're cleaning. But when you are going to the bedroom or wherever you decide to have your session from, please dress up well for the session. Set the mood right. Set the mood right. Like doctor said, we had a list of our must-haves in the bedroom, in the Mothers of Nations group, and on the list we had warm water. I know some of you are going to be like, warm water for what in the bed? What if it burns me? It will not burn you. I assume we have a bedside table, or if you do not have one, it's time to get a bedside table. On your table, next to your bed, have your flask of warm water, have your soft cloth or a soft towel. Let it be next to the bed as well. Have your massage oil. Have your honey. What else did you talk about? What else? What else did you talk about? Let me try to check on my list if I recall everything. Oh, you need a speaker as well. You need a speaker in your bedroom. Think of you being in your bedroom, and then in the morning your kids are like, "Hey, mommy, why are you crying at night? Are you okay?" No, 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 no. Our kids must not hear us crying in the night. So have your speaker there in your bedroom. Let your household get used to some soft music playing in your bedroom so that whether it is during day or night, they will not suspect anything. Yes, they know you do it, but do not let them know when you are doing it. If you decide to go and do it in the afternoon, they will not know because you already have your music playing there. They will not guess. So make sure you have a speaker. Make sure you have your flask of warm water. Now, on a part of the warm water, this warm water, first of all, someone was like, is it for us to drink and we get wet? It is, yes, it helps with you being wet. For you to be wet before the game, you need to hydrate on room temperature or warm drinks. Do not drink water from the fridge or juice or whatever and expect to be as wet as someone who took something warm. So warm water is going to help you. It's going to help you to be wet.
Yes, so you had, please have your flask of warm water. Warm water is important in the bedroom. Yes. And it's important for two reasons. Maybe she'll add a third. But the first one you had is hydrating. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. As you do that, there's a question here by Tiffany. She's asking, how does one deal with dryness during coitus after birth? Now, there are many reasons as to why you may be dry. Okay. The first one may be that you are not prepared enough, which means that mentally you're not in, and emotionally you're not well prepared, which means that your walls will not be as lubricated as they would be if you're better prepared. The second thing is that your foreplay may not have been adequate. Okay. So that is one thing that you need to really, really remember. After birth, your body has changed. It really changes, and the hormonal effects are quite present, which means that you need to relearn your body. just a minute. Yeah, so you need to relearn your body. You need to learn what triggers you now and what doesn't trigger you. And you need to check on, in other words, if there was a particular switch that used to do it for you before you got pregnant or before you delivered the baby, it may not work now because your walls were stretched during delivery. And that is either whether you had cesarean section or whether you had vaginal delivery. But more so if you had a vaginal delivery, because a lot of tears and stretches happen and then you go back and your body heals to restore to that prior place. So sometimes some nerves have gone, so you need to find out what works for you now. And whatever works for you now is what you're going to do. So you need to rediscover your body with your husband or with your partner. Okay, that's one. Two, you need to check if you have any infection. Infections are a cause of vaginal dryness, especially if it's a yeast infection. So if you have any discharge that is accompanying the vaginal dryness and any pain associated with it, then you need to be observed. Go to your doctor, let them check, let them see if there's any infection on the vaginal wall, on the cervix, allow them to treat it. If at all you were repaired and now it's painful for you to actually start the process, then you may need to be refashioned. So some of the things that you need to look into if you're having a dryness, especially after birth. And another thing, your type of family planning. So there are types of family planning, especially hormonal ones, that may change you, that may reduce your lubrication, so to speak. So if you have a new type of family planning you haven't used before, or you have changed your method, then you need to see if that's the cause of the vaginal dryness. So I hope that has answered you. Let's go back to Belinda.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jemima. I hope it has answered her. I've been getting questions of, after giving birth, I feel I'm a bit dry. What can I do? Doctor has told you what causes that. Then about what you can do is take things that you think are going to help you be a little bit more wet. You can also make use of lubricants. It's also among our must-have list. Although I've never used one, to be honest, I don't want to lie to you. You might start asking me what types on market or how much do they cost. I've never used any, so I don't know any. But those that I've used them say they've helped them a lot. If you feel you have failed to be wet naturally, even after drinking warm water, after taking yogurt, after taking porridge and everything, and okra, please get a lubricant. It will help you a lot. Yes, back to our warm water. So our warm water, first of all, is for hydrating. Secondly, this warm water, after you are done with your session, get your smooth cotton cloth or smooth towel. It should be very smooth, like a towel of a baby. Put your warm water and clean your king. Let him do the same. Some mother asked me, why do I have to clean him? Why can't he clean himself? He can clean himself, it is okay. But it is more romantic if you're done cleaning him and he's done cleaning you. Like, imagine you're done and you just start relaxing and your husband is like, babe, please open your legs. I need to first clean you. It's really cool. It's romantic. So if you can, please do it. It feels so good. Yes, then you need some massage oil. Sometimes you're tired, or your husband is tired, and you're like, I just want to relax. Let him get massage oil and try to massage you, touch wherever you are comfortable touching. Do the same for him. And before you know it, the fatigue will be normal, the muscles will be relaxed, you'll be feeling good, and you'll be horny at the same time. You will be horny. Especially if the person touching you, you have feelings. If you love the person touching you, you'll be horny. So make some massage oil as well. Let it be in your bedroom, right next to your bed, on your bedside table. I talked about the speaker. I talked about the warm water, the lubricant. Then we also have honey. This is not for everyone. This is for those that are okay with BJ with oral sex. I hope you can see me clear as I'm saying this. If you are not okay with oral sex, do not take your honey to the bedroom. Let it stay at the dining table for bread and tea and whatever. If you're okay with it, get this honey of yours, apply it on your king, and as you kiss him, lick off this honey, and wherever it leads you, please go ahead and do it. He can do the same for you, but for women, do not try to put honey inside your flower. I don't think it's safe medically. I'm not a doctor, but I don't think it is safe inserting anything inside there. Even if your husband wants to go down on you, do not put honey inside. It can be on the sides, but not inside. I hope I'm very clear on that. Let me try to check on the comment section. I hope I'm very clear on that. Do not put honey inside your vagina. Do not do that. And what else do we have on our must have? What am I forgetting? Someone talked about how about some wine, some beers, some chocolates. I'll not tell you to drink or not. That is up to you. If you feel you want a beer or two before the game, we have different beliefs, we come from different backgrounds, please go ahead and do it. If you want to take some wine before the game, please go ahead and do it. But for those that are pregnant, please do not. It is going to harm the baby. If you are pregnant, do not drink alcohol, do not drink wine while you are pregnant. Find other ways of getting honey, but not from drinking. You can try massage, you can try any other things. Someone asked me about watching adult movies. Whatever that means to you, as long as it is not pornography, go ahead and watch it. But I do not support pornography. I do not support pornography at all. If your question was about pornography, my answer is no. I do not support pornography. But still, if you choose to watch it, I would be in your home to see that you're watching pornography. Whatever it will lead you into, whatever spirits it's going to bring to you, I will not be responsible. So it is a no for me when it comes to pornography. If you want to learn about different styles you can do during pregnancy, there are Christian books that you can read that teach about sex and different positions. There's a book that some lady shared. It was, is it 256 days of sex, something like that. It has so many sex positions. It like they're animated, not people, not pictures of people. They are animated. They show how you can do a different style. They even explain it there, but they are not pictures of people. If you'd like that book, I can share it on the group for the mothers, but I do not recommend pornography. Someone is tired of playing alone. She's back. Doctor, is there any question for me on the chat? Is sex the same before and after birth?
Yes, I can see someone is asking about before and after. Hi.
Sex before and after birth, it is all sex, but the difference after birth is for those that give birth naturally, those who push, usually if you get tears, you'll be stitched, and to me it was, should I say it was overstitched or what? It felt like I was having sex for the first time. It felt like losing virginity. It was a little bit painful. That is why the group I was saying, we start small. But make sure you are really wet enough for you to try this small. Because it's going to be painful. So if you're not wet enough, it's going to be a challenge. If possible, for that first time, get a lubricant for you to enjoy. For those that have had CS, I have no idea how it feels like. Maybe doctor can help us in that.
I'm a CS mom. It's actually better, but oh, share the book. So there's no change really on the vaginal mucosa, but there are really differences a bit. Just a minute. Yes, baby, just a minute. So, what for my experience was with the first baby, it really got better, but it got better, I think, because I was more self aware. Also, I was married legally in the church. So I think that also gave me that feeling of I was glorifying God. But it was significantly better. But with the second, I don't know, because I'm not yet there. So we'll know when we get there.
All right. And like doctor said, it should be after at least 6 weeks. For me, for my first baby, the stitches were really so bad. They took long to heal, so I took 3 months. So I was like, oh my God, what if the stitches open? What if this happens? But like, no, 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 enough is enough of waiting. I must try and see. If the stitches open, we shall go back to the hospital. So I tried after 3 months. Of course, the first time it was a bit painful, but then later on, after that, it was okay. It was okay. It's usually the first time that is a bit painful because of the stitches that you had, but after that, it is very okay. It is normal. It is very normal. Some people ask about libido after giving birth. My libido after giving birth was a bit lower compared to before. But like I said, you pray about it and it gets back to normal. Yes, that is what I can say about sex before and after birth. What's the next question? Tiffany, are you in the group? I will share the book on the group for mothers if you're in the group.
You can share, and then I'll forward to the mothers on Wheels for Life. So that's fine. There's
Mm.
something I wanted to address. You talked about diet, and on the group there was a lot of questions on okra and what are the other recommendations. But what foods are good for your king, and what foods are good for you when it comes to intimacy?
For women, usually it is basically about hydrating. There's nothing I can say this is good or what. Some take okra, then millet porridge is also good for some people. Then yogurt is good for some people as well. Some people just take warm water. Some people say milk helps them also to become wet. Because some people talked about. Usually, what I've heard most people talk about, someone talked about cactus. I don't know how they even prepare it with the thorns, but someone said it's also good with being wet. Someone talked about a combination of sugarcane and okra. Some people even go ahead to add some, how do I call it? Some weed or drugs to make them like to be so hyper for them to enjoy. But for me, all I can say is hydrate. I do not use any of those. I do not take porridge in my house. I don't want to gain weight, so I'm not taking porridge. So if you're looking for water through porridge, be ready for weight as well. You're going to gain weight. So I do not take porridge. I do not take okra. I do not take anything, but I hydrate a lot. I drink a lot of water. I drink water. I take juice a lot. Yeah, that's what works for me. But other people take okra, take porridge, they take yogurt, they take milk, they take drinking chocolate, they say it helps. I'm seeing someone saying Simos gel. Yeah, let people share on the chat what has worked for them for the rest of us to learn from them. Then for men, I don't know what works for men, but what I know most men say that nuts, any kind of nuts, are good for them. My husband is on a call. I would have called him to come and answer this, but he's on a call, so we not disturb him. Yes, doctor. Doctor, are you here? Let me see if there's any other question for me.
Sorry, I don't know if Hannah is here in the call, but she had shared a list earlier on. My kids are misbehaving. She had shared a list earlier on what is good for them. I think there was pumpkin seed, nuts themselves, um, had of some sea animal. What's the name? But anyway, when I get that list, I will share it. My son has my phone, so I may not be able to access it, but definitely will share that list. But what is important is for you both to be to have eaten. We had a rule, and we have a rule with my king. Before anything, he has eaten and eaten well, because it will definitely really, it's a lot. It's a lot in terms of exercise. So yeah, feed him properly. In fact, one of the ways I let him know that today it's going down is I cook a proper meal. He comes home, I tell him, baby, sit down, eat nicely, and come. I go dress up as so definitely, it's will really, really work. So yeah, exercise is also important. Thank you, Loretta. I'm seeing that. Exercise is important both ways. Exercise is important for you. Remember, if you had a vaginal birth, even a cesarean birth, your walls are your vaginal walls are weaker than they were before you carried a baby, and that was because of physiology, to try and get room for the baby to come down. So, and when that happens, it's normal. Therefore, please, please, please do those Kegel exercises. Do them. When you go to the washroom and you're peeing, hold the urine before, when you start, stop it. Count 1, 2, up to 10, then release. Midstream, stop it again. Count again. Release. When you start, you may not be able to go up to 10. It's fine. I remember when just after getting baby, I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just to get it to 10. And then now I started slowing down to 1, 2, 3, because what happens is that exercises your pelvic muscle. And remember, sexual intercourse requires those pelvic muscles, and you can find even mid sex, you can actually be able to hold, and it will be more exciting for him, and you will feel more for yourself as well. With your husband, an important question here: if one stays 1 year plus without having sex after giving birth, will libido remain the same? Miss Belinda?
First of all, why are they staying 1 year plus without having sex? Is the husband aware, like not in the country? They just don't want to have sex, or what? That is one thing I would like to know. About the libido remaining the same, I I believe if you've not had sex for long, by the time you're having it, your libido should be like you'll be so excited about it, so your libido should be high. But also, why are you staying a year without sex? An adult, a married woman. Is your husband in the country or not? How do you handle a year plus?
Belinda. um,
Do
I
you do
think
it?
I think also to help, if you're having issues with libido completely, please find out the emotional well-being of your relationship. Are you and your husband okay? Are you communicating okay? Um, are you feeling overwhelmed because you're coping with the baby alone, or are you feeling stressed because you feel like you need money, or you're not provided for, or do you feel deserted? Whatever it is, why are you losing your libido? And is it a physical issue, that is your body, you want it but your body is not responsive, or is it that your body is just not there, like your mind is not there, because there's a communication breakdown with your partner. So if there's a communication breakdown with your partner, please start talking, start communicating small small. You start from communicating small small before you try small small. Yeah, communicate, tell him what you're feeling, this is what, and address the issues from, because sometimes you need so many issues that at some point you just go mum, that you're just indifferent. So if you find yourself in that space of indifference, start walk backwards to try and find out why you're indifferent, resolve the issue one after the other. And it's a layer. The last issue may have been salt was too much, and then why was the salt too much? And you go down. There's a book I was reading that says every time you have a question, ask why 7 times. So when you ask someone what's wrong, they tell you the salt is too much. Why? Because I feel like you don't care why. Until you go to the core issue. And the core issue may have been that when I was pregnant, I felt like he didn't support me enough. That could have been the core issue. So just address it. If your husband is outside the country, that is totally understandable that you're not having time to have sex with your partner. When they come, please note it's going to be like the first time. Yeah, it's going to be like the first time completely. So take time to prepare. Mentally prepare the room, prepare your body, prepare him, prepare yourself. Have lube in case you need it. Take time with foreplay. If you can take an hour with foreplay, at least your muscles, your motions, everything has relaxed. Then now you can go into penetrative sex. So that's what I would say. Then Monique is saying sometimes libido goes down because of trust issues coming from previous episodes of infidelity. Very true. I'm not a pastor, I'm not a minister of the word, but I will say this, that if you have chosen to forgive and remain in a space, then how are you working towards ensuring there'll be no infidelity? And I'm not talking about having sex, no. I'm talking about you and your partner really working towards why did that infidelity happen? And if he's gaslighting and saying that it's your fault because you don't dress nicely and after pregnancy you let yourself go, that's not the kind of communication I mean. I mean, go through what was he feeling so that he got into it. What is he doing to change that behavior? That person he was cheating with, what measures have been put to stop that? Have you gone through therapy? Please go through therapy, because it means both of you have had, and especially you who's been cheated on. And remember, in the word, this is the only grounds that is given for actually leaving your partner if you're married. So if you're going to walk through it and walk beyond it, you need to really heal so that you're starting. And it will not be the two people who walked down the aisle. No, it will be the new, improved both of you who will be starting a new relationship together. So, in essence, anyone has cheated, be it you or your partner, you have to repent, start from scratch, start from dating again, have a period where you're walking through your issues, then get into intimacy again with the newer version of the person. Otherwise, you're just going to keep having the same cycle, and you're going to keep hurting because you feel like this man really betrayed me. So if you're not in that position that you've not forgiven, please just take time away, in my opinion, and check that. I think just check that first. Then now you can go back into the marriage institution in a position of getting back to intimacy and what have you. Belinda, what do you think?
Yes, like you have said, sometimes, yes, like Monique is saying, sometimes libido goes down because of trust issues. I've got so many prior requests on that. Of course, when your husband cheats on you, you first of all lose interest in him. You feel betrayed, disappointed, feel like, what am I not giving him that he's going out there to cheat? Some men cheat because of us women. So, first of all, you as a woman, yes, you are disappointed. It's him who has gone astray, but first try to find out, what have I done that has led this man to go astray? I have a friend, she's not yet married, but she was telling me every guy I date cheats on me. Every guy I date. So one day I asked her, why is it that every guy you date cheats on you or just leaves you like, and is it that all guys out there are the same? Or there's something in you that you need to first look into and try to change? Sometimes you might find this man is cheating because when he comes back home, you want him to touch you, like you've been starving him. So it's like, since you are not giving me sex at home, and out there is a student, there's a campuser who is willing to give me anytime I feel like, then there you are the problem. Yes, he has cheated, it is him who has sinned, but you are the one causing him to cheat. I do not support cheating at all, but what I'm saying is try to find out the cause and work on that. If he comes back home and you're always quarreling, men do not like quarrelsome women. I'm telling you this as a Christian, as a believer, you need to work on yourself. If you are that kind who is always quarrelsome, you are chasing your man out of his home, out of your home. He'll be like, I'd rather stay out there with my boys. We drink after drinking. I go to so and have a quick, then come back home, just sleep because I'm tired. So try to find out what is causing this man to cheat. After you've worked out everything on your end, do this as you're praying for your man. Now go to God and tell him, God, this is the man you made for me, not anyone else. If you know that person is cheating with, mention that person to God. For example, this is an example. If it is Joan, say, God, give Joan her own husband. Let Joan leave my man. If it is Anita, Kat, or whichever it is, tell God, God, you know this is my husband that you made for me. This is my husband, not for anyone, not to be shared with anyone. Tell God, God, please let this man have eyes for only me. The same eyes he had that the first time he met me, the interest he had in me, please bring back that interest. Tell God, God, this other woman that is disorganizing my husband, may you keep her busy. Bring a man in her life that is going to love her like the love my husband is giving her. Our God is a fair God. When he sees you have done everything on your part, when our God sees that on your end everything is clean, he is surely going to reunite you and your husband. God is going to change that husband of yours. If your husband, I don't know what you're going through where you are, but first try to check on yourself on your end. Make sure on your end everything is very okay. You are not cheating on him. You are not a quarrelsome wife. You are not starving him. You are you are everything he has prayed for. When you have done everything and he's still cheating, now tell God, God, you know what? I've done my part. I have prayed for this one has failed to change. If this man is not the man you made for me, please take this man out of my life and give me mine. That's what I can tell you. Because at times you might be there thinking, oh, this man, this man, this man, this man, I like him, this man, but he keeps on cheating. Get God is like, nah, that's not the man I made for you. I did not make you from his rib. I got I got your rib from someone else out there. I've seen those things happen. I've seen people divorce and remarry in church. People who have got married in church, things do not work out. They divorce and remarry and they live happily ever after. So if things fail to work, please go back to God, the creator of the universe. Go back to God, the author of marriages, and He's going to help you out. That's what I can say about that. I'm seeing here someone asking, I need someone to talk to on the same. Monique, I'm here. Please, you can reach out to me. Let me read my number for you, Monique. +256 78 666 9823.
Belinda, if
Anytime
you
you
can
want
say it again, I write it on the post.
+256 78 666 9823.
Okay. So I'll share
Someone
this
is
with
asking, okay, that is my number. Someone is asking, a friend is asking if it's okay to masturbate. She's in a second trimester. Why is this person masturbating? Why is she masturbating? Is she like, has she been doing this? She's a single mom. I do not support masturbating. I don't support masturbating. She's a single mom. I don't know what she's going to do to fulfill her desires, but masturbating it is not good, because when she finally decides to get married, that is if she wants to get married, she'll be used to satisfying herself that no man will satisfy her. That's why you find women in marriages masturbating. You find a woman has sex with her husband. After they are done, she goes to the bathroom and starts masturbating to reach orgasm, which is really, it shouldn't be that way. So I do not support masturbation and I cannot advise her to masturbate. Maybe someone else can advise on that, but personally, I do not recommend that. I do not advise masturbation.
you. Sorry. Thank you so much. We are way beyond time. Moms, if you have any questions, Belinda's number is here. Again, reminder, please subscribe to support the channel. I want to thank you, Belinda, once more. We will call you again to talk about trying small, small, or any other thing that God puts in your heart. This is a health education channel. So health wise, we talk about masturbation as being normal, but spiritually, I would also support Belinda and say that there are big repercussions to it, same as pornography, same as adult movies. They all take away the discovery or the mystery of discovering your person and discovering your own self. So I would really, really suggest to just go through that discovery journey with your partner. Um, and God is faithful. He has a way of just providing the best experience really that there is for you and your husband if you're in that space, you get. So thank you once more. I pray that we reignite your bedrooms. Don't just stay there bored and sad, and I hope that this session will impact not just you but your marriage. If your husband tells you, where have you learned about these new styles, send them to this channel so that they don't think you are there doing learning what. Yeah. But we love you, everyone. Thank you for accommodating our babies, and see you in the next post, maybe on Saturday or next week on Thursday. Mwah! Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel to get more of this content.
Thank you, Belinda. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me, Dr. Jemima.
Anytime.